What goes on, guys? We're back here again with yet another review, and today we're going to be taking a look at the long-awaited Diamond Select Toys Lord of the Rings Wave 4, I believe, Uruk-Hai Orc Soldier, you know, whatever you want to call it, and Gandalf. Now, Gandalf waiting till Wave 4? What's up with that? That's crazy, in my opinion, to wait for, like, arguably, like, the most iconic character from the franchise, murking him until fucking Wave 4. That's crazy. But the Uruk Soldier is really cool. I mean, you want multiple of them. I kind of want multiple orcs, kind of want multiple these. I don't know. We'll see. But taking a look at the packaging, it's pretty standard for these guys. You get to see all the figure in there, all the accessories, Lord of the Rings. On the side, you know, it says Wave 4. I could have sworn he had the face paint on him in some of the preliminary issue pictures, but there's none on him. I don't really care either way, but you know, you get to see the figures, all the other figures they have to offer at the bottom here. I think this is a read-up of Lord of the Rings, I think. I don't think, yeah, they're not character specific. So if you want to check them out, there you go. There is the barcodes. I got these at Blue Line Comics and Collectibles in Philadelphia. Definitely go check them out. If you have not checked them out, he's a great guy in there, and he always makes sure that you're getting things for the good price. But with that being said, I believe that's all I have. So let's go ahead and open these guys up. So taking these figures out of the package, there's some interesting things going on with them. Some good interesting and some not so good interesting. But nonetheless, they are still awesome figures, and I can't wait to get them all on a display together with Sauron and, you know, the founding of the ring. Just the Order of the Ring, I would love to complete that. You know, just whatever. I'll talk about that at the end of the video. But these figures here look pretty cool. Yeah, like I said, they do got their issues, though, so I have a little bit more problems with Gandalf, as you probably just heard one of them, but we'll start with the Orc troll, or Orc, I'm sorry, not a troll, but taking a look at the head sculpt there, that's gnarly. That facial expression is freaking awesome, and the paintwork on it looks great. The big long hair looks awesome. I mean, you know, when he first comes out of the mud, you know, he's an ugly motherfucker. At least I think he is, or they are. But you know, what are you gonna do? So they Diamond Select captured that pretty well. You get the armor plating on the side, and then the wash carries through for all the skin parts. I don't know why they wouldn't put no armor on their thighs. I mean, come on now. Now, the proportions look a little weird. He kind of has, like, no hips, so it's, like, really tubular here. It doesn't really bother me that much because it kind of adds to, like, the non-fully human nature of him. Like, you know, obviously they're half orc, half human kind of thing, but I don't know. I think the proportions could have been fixed a little bit. I like the hand paint, like the hand smear on the chest there. That looks awesome. The armor plating on the sides is sharp and has nice die-cast looking metal to it. I mean, it's not actual die-cast, but it looks like it. It's just soft plastic. All the chainmail sculpt on this guy is incredible. It looks awesome. The paint on the straps, the silver on the buckles. There's a lot of paint on these guys and a lot of sculpt work, and that's what we like to see. I like the dinged up look of the armor. You know, it makes it look like actual metal. And then going down into the shins, that carries through there. You get the, like, on the top of the feet, and the chunky feet, I like that. You get like the dirty cloth under it with the buckles and straps all painted all the way around. You know, he looks fantastic. They did not skimp on the paint or sculpt on this guy at all. So I really like what they got going on for him. He looks dirty, and I think that that's a good thing. I mean, he's supposed to look dirty. He's made out of mud and then whatnot. So that's a little strange. But he does come with a fuck ton of accessories. So let's go ahead and take a look at those. So starting off, he comes with his long ass like spear thing, which is literally almost twice the size of him. I mean, I can't even show it all on camera at once. That's a really long spear. This might be one of the biggest accessories I've ever seen. I'm gonna have him hold this simply for the fact of I have no idea where I'll store that if I don't. It's a really long spear, but he does hold it well. He just kind of got to shove it through his hand. But yeah, no, that's a little excessive, to be honest, but you know, what are you gonna do? Still looks really cool. He does come with interchangeable hands too if you don't want him holding anything, so he just comes with like I don't say clawing hands, but you know, just kind of like open hands, so like clenching hands, which look cool. Now, my favorite weapon that he comes with is probably this, like, you know, the weird sword thing. I like the dry rushing on it. The gunmetal gray looks great. And like I showed with the spear, you kind of just pop it in the hand, and there you go. And you can hack some motherfuckers up. So that looks great. And then also, to go along with that weapon, you have the shield. And again, it looks like die-cast metal. The bolts on there look great. The hand looking thing painted on there. The straps and the buckles are all painted very nice on there. And then this is the handle side. So what you're going to want to do is pop the hand off, slip this off Captain America Marvel Legends style. What I do is loosen the hand a little bit. You might want to heat it up. I mean, it's not that tight. You know, you just kind of pry the fingers open. Yeah, you gotta kind of push it hard. Sorry, I just want to get two hands on that, on the hand, and then, you know, kind of flip it down, have the peg lined up, put the arm through the other one, and plug it in, and boom, there you go. You have him with the shield. So that looks awesome too. I would not want to get punched by that. Imagine if Cap, like, upgraded his shield to have, like, spikes on it, bro. Like, I think there was a version or two with that, but, like, come on. You can't tell me that wouldn't be, like, badass. Like, that's, like, his, like, I think it looks like Cap's Wakandan shields from Infinity War. Like, that's what I think of. But that looks really, really cool in my opinion. So I like that a lot. But along with these accessories, he does come with an interchangeable head. So if you want, which is an interesting thing, which we'll talk about in the articulation, he actually has a neck and a head together, so he pops off at the bottom of the neck. You can see the dumbbell joint working up in there, but then you get the helmeted head sculpt, and this looks so badass. It's a little tight. I mean, it hasn't been on yet, so that's probably part of it. But, you know, I like to demonstrate how things are right out of the package. So if you want, you just got to line up the ball the right way, and then I might need to heat this up, which is kind of a pain in the ass because it is very, there we go. I think I got it. But now he's going to be able to turn his head. I got it, but then I wasn't able to turn the head. There we go. Well, there it goes. A little tight, as you saw, but it does get on there. Sorry for that little mishap there. Might edit that out, might not. You know, I'm raw with it. I don't really care if you guys, you know, stick around, and you stick around. No, sorry about that. But the helmeted head looks great. You know, you get the same paint detail in the hair. It is a different sculpt in the hair, though, which is nice. You get a different expression. The helmet looks awesome. All the dry brush on the metal looks fantastic. The razor thing on the top looks great. I prefer the unhelmeted head just because I like that expression more. But, you know, that's just me. So, now you want to stay on. But, you know, it is always an option. I prefer this head, though, because I think it just, like I said, I think I prefer this expression more. I think it just looks so badass, and he just looks like a menace. So, you know, obviously, like I demonstrated, it is a ball joint at the bottom of the neck. It's a dumbbell joint at the bottom of the neck, so it's not going to be in the head. So he's not going to look up at all, but he has a lot of hair going on there. He'll look down, pivot side to side. He'll rotate about that far and about that far, so nothing crazy, but I think for the most part, that's pretty good movement. Just, you kind of got to work with it. The shoulders will move up only about that far. They'll go around 360. These shoulder pads are soft plastic. He has a bicep swivel, double jointed elbows that go all the way that you need them to, and then the wrist swivel and the horizontal hinge on all of them. Now, he has a good diaphragm joint. It's going to pivot that much, that much. He'll crunch forward good, or relatively good. He'll crunch, and then he does rotate, so you can get pretty good movement, like some good crossbody. I like that. That looks pretty sick. And then the hips go about that far, so almost full splits. He'll kick forward that far, back, upper thigh cut, double jointed knees that go really far, and then they look good too. And then the ankles move down, up, and pivot. So, you know, all the articulation that you're going to need in this kind of an orc, but, you know, I think it could have been improved at the head just a little bit, but, you know, honestly, I think it works pretty good for what it's supposed to represent. Plus, you don't need him, like, doing acrobatic poses. You just need him in, like, good war stances, and I think that this figure will definitely achieve that. So, for that matter, I like it a lot. Now, taking a look at my most anticipated figure, but kind of most disappointing figure of the series so far, Gandalf. Again, like I said at the beginning, he's super iconic, so I feel like messing him up would be a crime. And I don't know where I stand with this figure, to be honest with you. There's a little bit of reuse, actually, on him, but, you know, for the most part, he's a mostly new sculpt, but that's not necessarily for the better. So let's go ahead and take a look at something I don't dislike about the figure. The beautiful head sculpt here. I think that looks just like Sir Ian McKellen. I just wish that it wasn't such a lazy eye. I know he has kind of a lazy eye. You know, he's old, but, you know, I don't think it's that bad. I think mine just got a paint defect, but that looks awesome. The paint wash on there looks great. The beard and the hair look awesome. Sculpted beautifully. You got to give him credit where credit's due, and that sculpt is beautiful. The sculpt also travels through on the tunic. It looks really good. The belt has a really nice leathery texture to it. The silver is painted on all of the buckles and the straps here, which I really like. I don't know if this sheath is reused from Aragorn. It kind of looks like it, but I don't know. The silver is really nice on it. You get the buckle there. You get his magic using hands, which look awesome. But he kind of has the same problem as the Nazgul, with the sleeve only looking good in one position, being down or like to the side like this. You know, you can't like lift, like if you go any further past there, then it looks kind of weird, which is unfortunate, but that's plastics. That doesn't really bother me. The cape looks nice, so the cloak, I don't really know what it is. You get like some dirt at the bottom, which is really, really nice. I think it's a really nice detail, which does travel in on the inside as well. And then, you know, that travels on the lower part of the tunic too. And then you get his legs in there. You get like the gray legs, a little bit of dry brush on the top of the boot. The boot looks good, a little wash on it. The laces are all sculpted nice on each side. So just standing there, he looks cool. But like, obviously his articulation is going to be pretty hindered. But my biggest issue is with some of the accessories here. So let's take a look at some of the good stuff. He does come with interchangeable hands here. He comes with 2 grip hands. So when the time comes, you know, you want to pop his hand out. This is a little bit difficult because you kind of have to get a good grip on it. No pun intended, because we're putting in the grip hand. But once you get the grip hand in there, that looks good. And then he comes with his sash, his man purse. I usually loop it over here, get it under the beard, kind of weave it over the head, and then like that. But then I don't think that looks good because it's not under the cape. So what I think it was intended was for the head to be popped off. But then, yeah, for the head to be popped off, the cloak taken off, then you wrap it around, then put the cloak back on, and then pop the head back on. Which, I don't know why they just didn't put the bag on there. I mean, once I get this back on there, I'm just going to leave it on there. But, like, I just don't know why they just didn't do that in the first place, to be honest. So, you know, what are you going to do? But it's not that big a deal. I think where my biggest issue lies is in the accessories that are so important to him. You know, he comes with the sword. The sword looks great. It looks very bright in silver. The blue on the hilt and the handle looks really nice, and it does go in the sheath perfectly. So that's fine. But then you get his staff, and this is sculpted awesomely. It looks just like it's supposed to. It would have been really cool if they could find a way to make it glow in the dark at the top or something, but that looks pretty cool. But the way that this is sculpted, you can't have him hold it. That's so stupid. Like, you're going to have to go like this. First of all, it slips right out of the hand when you do that. And then you have to have him hold it with 2 hands. Like, he can't just wield it because of the way that the thing is sculpted. Like, you'll have to have him, like, I don't know. It's just, that's so disappointing. I don't like that one bit. That is just terrible engineering on Diamond's part. And there's no way around it. There's no way around it. Because these hands are soft. Any other time, you want the hands to be fucking soft. They're rock solid. But then, when you kind of want them to be a little bit harder to get better grip on something, they're solid. They're too soft. So, you're going to just have to angle it like that, which is weird and stupid and annoying. But, you know, he's got to hold his staff. It's his thing, you know? So, but then my biggest issue is the way they did the hat. So the hat looks good. It's painted. It's got some airbrush on it. They add the shading, which is nice. But you can already see where this is going. That is such a soft sculpt on the inside. It does not clip on Gandalf's head at all. Like, in the slightest. It'll sit there, but then it moves immediately. That is awful. Why? Why would you not sculpt it to the head? I don't know why they did that. That is just terrible. Terrible, terrible, terrible. I'm not a fan of that at all. It barely stays on his head. Literally, you move it around and it just falls off. So that is not good at all. Not acceptable. Why? Why? Who greenlit that? Who thought that was a good idea? To not make this posable and the one pose that everybody's going to want him in. This. Simple. Just standing there. Because he already has limited articulation due to his design and nature, which I understood. But this is just dumb. So, not a fan of that at all. But, you know, whatever. So, again, just, I don't know. But the head will look up a little bit. It'll look down. It'll look pivot side to side and rotate. So, not a lot of movement. But he has a huge beard and huge hair. So, I'm not really too shocked or upset about that. Shoulders will only move up that much on that side, but then you get pretty much full T-pose on this side. And this side, I'm assuming, will rotate all the way around. This side will obviously not. You get a hinge and swivel at the elbow, which is good. And then the wrist swivel and hinge. The diaphragm joint isn't really going to do anything. It'll crunch a little bit, arch a little bit. It's mostly just for rotation. And even then, it doesn't really do much. He's got a lot going on. I understand that. His hips are going to get about that far, which is barely anything. He'll kick forward just about that, which is barely anything. Back, not so much. Thigh swivel up in there, and then he has a single jointed knee. It like doesn't really do anything, and I can't tell if it rotates. It doesn't rotate. No boot rotation. The ankle moved down, up all the way, and then pivot. So the articulation's fine. Of course, you know, I expect those things. It's, you know, but Gandalf doesn't need to get in those poses. The most action you probably ever really see him, like, move around in is, like, in the first movie, where him and Saruman are fighting. Also, I think a lot of this could be reused for Saruman. I would like a Saruman. That would be really cool. And I think they would do a Christopher Lee head pretty well. But, you know, I don't know if we'll ever get any more figures. I mean, once we get Gollum, I don't know if they've revealed any more. And if so, I mean, they're going to take forever to come out. That's Diamond. So, you know, what are you going to do? But I'm just a little disappointed about the overall execution on this guy. Unfortunately, I don't have any of my other Lord of the Rings figures here to compare them to. So I won't be doing any comparisons at the moment, which I'm sorry about that. You know, again, one day we'll have everything together and the comparisons will be beautiful. But for right now, this is kind of what I'm working with. You know, they're 7-inch scale. Gandalf's a little bit taller. So the Orc troll. I keep saying troll. Orc. But, you know, they'll get the job done. But you're probably wondering, yo, Ant, what are you thinking of these figs? And I gotta say, guys, I'm actually surprised at the Orc. I think the Orc turned out pretty awesome. Wasn't too excited for him at all, but I kind of want a couple of them, you know, army build them. But I said that about the other Orc, but they're expensive, so I just gotta, you know, you gotta watch what you're doing. But Gandalf, I'm super disappointed in. Very disappointing. I just can't get over why they would do the hat in the sleeves like that. The articulation I can forgive because it's Gandalf, but his hat? Really? You messed up his hat? He's the iconic wizard and you messed up his hat? Don't do Gandalf the Grey like that. Don't mistake him for a wizard of cheap tricks, or you shall pay. But, you know, if I'm going to give these figures a rating, I'm going to give the Orc Troll about an 8. I think they did pretty good on that one. Maybe, 8.5, but I'm going to stick with an 8. I think they did really good on that one. But on the Gandalf, I got to give it like a 4. It's just not a very fun figure to play around with. And when I was taking pictures, I was struggling with it because the hat would fall off every 5 seconds. And I want to put him up on my big shelf, but I'm worried that his hat is going to fall off all the time. So I'm definitely going to put some sticky tack in there to fix that, because that's not going to cut it. But, to each his own. Maybe yours sticks a little bit better, or maybe you don't care as much, or maybe you just simply like him without the hat. But I want Gandalf, or my Gandalf, wearing his iconic hat. But I believe that's all I got for today. If you guys haven't already, please do yourself a favor and like, comment, subscribe. It is always appreciated when you do so. Be sure to follow me on Instagram and TikTok as well. I post a lot on there, and I have a lot of fun with that, and I think you guys will as well. But I leave you guys with the bearing question. You coppin'? Let me know. I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.